Lieutenant Vance, thanks so much for updating our viewers here in the United States and around the world. The story, unfortunately, is so horrific, but people all over the world are appreciating what's going on, and we're only beginning to get the beginning of this information. Lieutenant Paul Vance is with the Connecticut State Police. Thank you very much, Lieutenant. Joining us now on the phone is Declan Procaccini, who's a parent as well. Tell us where you were, what was going on, your connection to the school, Declan.
My daughter's a third grader, and she was there actually in her reading class, and they heard bangs, and thank God for Mrs. Summers, because her reading teacher grabbed my daughter and brought her into a bathroom and locked the door, along with another teacher, and in a short time, some police somehow was able to get them out of there and escort them through the hallways. And unfortunately, it was a pretty messy scene for my daughter.
Earlier in the day, I spoke with your wife, Lisa. She says your daughter seems to be okay. You also have a 10-year-old son. How are the kids doing now?
You know, I don't know if my daughter's in shock or not, but from what she told me she saw, she's doing incredibly well. You know, my son's doing great too, but of course there's just a lot of fears that this kind of thing, I mean, the game's changed from this point onward, so.
What does that mean when you say the game has changed? What do you...
I mean, my kids are already asking when's this going to happen again. You know, it was only a week ago that we were talking about this type of situation, and I said the chances of it happening are 1 in a zillion at Sandy Hook, and I was wrong about that. So
we know, Declan, you knew the principal, Dawn Hochsprung, well. She was killed in this mass murder today. Tell us a little bit about her.
She was just so nice, and she loved her job, and she actually on a couple occasions went out of her way, you know, just to help us with certain things that we were working on with our daughter. This is all so surreal, so please forgive me if I'm a little cloudy right now.
No, believe me, we appreciate what you're going through. We can't even imagine what you're going through. John King is with us as well. He's got a question.
Sir, sadly, in any community, when tragedy like this happens, there are always questions about the notification system. How did you first learn, and how specific was that information? And obviously, the officials at the school were dealing with a tragedy on the scene, but do you think that part of it was handled appropriately?
I think it's the best they could do. I mean, I don't know how you really prepare for something this crazy. My wife called me. I work down in New York, and my wife called me and told me there had been a shooting, and so I rushed home. My wife was already in town, and she ran there. And but so far, the Newtown school system has been great in leaving automatic phone updates with all the parents.
What a sad story. Quick question before I let you go, Declan. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision about letting your kids go back to the Sandy Hook Elementary School. What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, this is also new. I mean, I've been talking to my kids and just explaining, look, this is what happened, and you do your best to communicate with them, and you do your best to, you know, it's funny, a bomb hit, there's a lot of smoke, and it's still here, it's still here, and I haven't had enough time to really plan, but hopefully by the time they do go back to school, I'll have done a good enough job at talking to my kids and making them feel at least the most comfortable they could.
And how's your wife, Lisa, doing?
Well, she's hanging in there.
Well, please give all of them our love, our sympathy, our support, and we wish them only the best. Declan Procaccini is a parent of 2 kids from that Sandy Hook Elementary School. Those kids got out okay, but obviously 20 other children, John, did not get out okay. 18 of them died on the scene. 2 others died at hospitals as a result of the injuries.
I think a remarkably thoughtful conversation you just had there with a parent who's dealing with the unthinkable and trying to explain to young children in the middle of the holiday season